Hey, you forgot to turn the light on. Hey, everybody, this is Hans Murphy from Modesto, California. And a couple of weeks ago, I was going through the WWE roster and just, seeing who they should keep or get rid of or repackage. Um, I actually went through the whole roster, but for some reason, the microphone cut out just after Meechin. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to pick up where I left off. But before we get to that, before we do any of that sort of stuff, we have to get through some important business, which of course is the sponsorship announcement. Hey, this is Les, and all Murphiverse programming is brought to you by Home for the LD Lee. They sell HD DVDs, CDs, and of course, Laserdiscs. And if you would like to get some Laserdiscs, go to their website. And if you put in the code MURPH, you get 20% off of your order. So go check them out. They are the kings of Laserdiscs at Home for the LD Lee. Well, thanks for that, Les. And now over to me as I go through the WWE roster. Hey, everybody, this is Hans Murphy from Modesto, California. And we're picking up where we left off last time, obviously with Meechin here. I can't remember how much of it you actually got to hear, but my basic point was that she was Mia Yim. She changed her name to Meechin to go along with her Korean heritage, and that seemed like a good idea, but they just sort of had her playing this street thug character, which I don't think really works. I think they really need to do something that actually leans into the both, because Meechin means crazy in Korean, so make her crazy and Korean and go more, in on that. I think that would be better than what they're doing at the moment. After that, we've got Mike Rome, who is the ring announcer on NXT usually. I think I've seen him on SmackDown or one of the other shows at some point. He does a serviceable job. He's not quite as pineapple up the ass as Alicia Taylor. He does go a bit too comedic with it at times. He's kind of like a better version of Justin Roberts. Like if you take Justin Roberts and sort of tone him down and make him tolerable, you kind of get Mike Rome. So I think if he worked at it, he'd probably actually be a pretty good ring announcer. It's probably one of the better ones they've got at the moment. Montez Ford, one half of the Street Profits. Not much to say there. They're a good team. They're doing well. Not really much else I can add. Mr. Stone, I have no idea who this guy is. I believe he is a backstage guy. I think I've seen him in like backstage bits with Ava. I don't really see any value in him from what that would be, so I really don't know why he's there. But yeah, Miles Bourne. I think he may be the first deaf WWE superstar, or at least has partial hearing loss. I don't know if he's actually completely deaf. But he's great. Aside from his disability, he's just a really good wrestler, and he's got a captivating sort of presence, and his in-ring work is great. I don't think I would change anything there. And Naomi's kind of doing her own changes at the moment, what with being pregnant. So not much we can say there. Not much point really going into that one. Natalia. Now Natalia is one of the people that's been there the longest. She's had a great career. The tell ups and downs. At one point, they had her farting all the time because Vince thought that would be funny, or make her more relatable or something. But that was really stupid. But that's Vince, so yeah. When she gets to be serious, she's amazing, and she's doing a lot of that more in the when she appears on the Indies and when she does stuff with AAA or AAR, I think is the proper way of saying that. I don't know. I'm from California, but I don't speak Spanish. So, yeah. But yeah, when she does that, when she's calling herself Natty, which is her real name, I think that's a better gimmick, and I think maybe they should just let her be that more often. Nathan Fraser, he's a tag team partner of Axiom. Great wrestler. Kind of reminds me of Hayabusa from FMW. Does a lot of the same sort of high-risk moves. And, he's got a lot of talent. Not really much I'd change there either. Nia Jax, I think it's time for her to retire. She's gone through stages where she's kind of improved in the ring, but for the most part, I just think that if she's not going to get better at this point, maybe it's time to just say, hey, Nia, this isn't working out. Maybe they could have her go over to NXT where she could be like a mentor to somebody, because she certainly has the aura of a star. She's just not that great in the ring. And I don't know. I think that would probably be. They're kind of doing that with her with Lash Legend now. She's teamed up with her, although on the main roster. So maybe they'll bring the best out of each other. I just think, yeah, I would probably say it's time for her to go. Nick Aldis, he's general manager. I've seen him wrestle elsewhere, and he's a great wrestler. If he can still do it, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be wrestling again. I think that he's, unless he's injured or just not able to do it or doesn't want to do it, I don't know. But yeah, Nikki Bella, she can go. We didn't need the Bella twins whenever it was, like nearly 20 years ago, well, 15 years ago. I can't remember. Point is, when they came in, they were crap then, and they didn't really improve that much. And now they've been away for a while, and now she's come back, and she's still kind of shit. So I feel sorry for Stephanie Vaquer, who's got a wrestler coming up soon. So hopefully Stephanie can be, good enough to get a decent match out of Nikki Bella. Stephanie is amazing, so I guess maybe she could do it. But yeah, I would personally get rid of the Bella twins altogether. I wouldn't have hired them in the first place. Nikki Cross. I almost think I liked her better as the superhero thing, almost a superhero, whatever it was. That felt like it had more personality. This feels like a sort of generic, spooky gimmick. I don't think it works. I don't think the whole Wyatt Six is working the way they want it to. So I kind of scrapped that whole thing, to be honest. Maybe keep some of the characters, keep the wrestlers, and just give them new gimmicks. Nikita Lyons. I don't think I've seen her on television. Maybe once this year. Certainly she's not been on TV a lot. Certainly have not been on TV in a while. It's kind of surprising that she's still listed here. Maybe she's injured. I don't know. Has a unique look. I'll give her that, but I just don't know. I haven't seen enough of her work in the ring. Nico Vance. He's in the culling. And he can probably go, He's just kind of generic guy with a mohawk. Not even a mohawk. It's one of those, that's sort of almost painted on mohawk. Noam Dar, whose name sounds kind of like someone from Northern Ireland saying, "No, I'm there." Noam Dar. I think he's Scottish, actually. But yeah. Anyway, he could probably use a better name than Noam Dar. But he's okay. I've seen a few matches. He's impressive in the ring, but just I don't know. He's missing something. Maybe keep him over in NXT for a while. Maybe they can come up with something better for him. Something that's actually going to bring his personality out a bit. Oba Femi, and I know Oba and Oba Femi means, Oba means ruler and Femi means love. I just think that they should get rid of the Femi and call him Oba. I know Femi is a name for people in Nigeria. I just think that it makes him sound like a feminine hygiene product. We're not playing to a Nigerian audience, we're playing to a worldwide audience. And to everybody outside of Nigeria, I just don't think it really comes across the way they want it to. So, yeah, he's a good wrestler. He's got a lot of personality. And I think that he could go a long way. I just think that the name Oba Femi is going to hold him back. So maybe just drop the Femi. Maybe have him win King of the Ring and he'll just be King Oba. But, yeah, I think that would be better, personally. Omos is practically never ever there. When he is, he's not great in the ring. He really just got the job because he's a big, tall guy. Just because he's big and tall doesn't make him a great wrestler. I would probably get rid of him. Osiris Griffin, he's one of the Dork State guys. They can go. None of them really have what it takes, I don't think. At the very least, they're not ready yet, and their whole gimmick is that there were guys that were in developmental and they were told they weren't ready, so they decided to go up to main roster of their own accord. Well, not to main roster, to NXT. And, yeah, they were right not to put them up because they're not ready. Not by a long shot. Otis, I would probably get rid of as well. I just don't see much there. He's a big fat guy that does a comedy gimmick. It's fine if you like big fat guys doing comedy gimmicks. His wrestling's okay, but there's a lot of big guys there at the moment, and I just think that of the ones they've got, he's the one that they need the least. So, yeah, he can go. Pat McAfee is kind of already gone, thankfully, because he's a dreadful commentator. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. By most of what I've seen of him, he seemed like a horrible person as well. So I would just get as far away from that fucker as you can. Yeah, by far, I'd say he's the worst commentator, and that includes the guy that called Jeff Hardy Jeff Harvey, or that Mauro Ranallo guy that always sounded constipated. Yeah, I would get as rid of him as you possibly can. Like even just delete him from, have other people come in and redub the commentary on the shows that he did do because he's that bad. He's just kind of annoying and he shouts a lot and I don't know. I guess he feels like maybe they feel like he's got a kind of comedy double act thing with Michael Cole, where they just come across as a couple of drunk dads. Whatever. He's supposedly a celebrity, and I guess if you follow mainstream sports, he's a football player, and he does a sports talk show. But yeah, get rid of him. Paul Heyman, good mind for the business. I don't really see a need to have him on TV at the moment, especially now that the Vision, his group, just brought in Drew McIntyre, who can talk for himself, so they don't really need a mouthpiece anymore. They didn't really need one before because Braun Breaker can talk fine. Bronson Reed, as I've said before, doesn't need to be there, so they can just fuck him right off. Same with Logan Paul. They don't need him. So yeah, I think Paul Heyman's best work would be to work behind the scenes. I think that he's better as someone that can help help the creative team. Penta was great when he debuted, great wrestler. I wish they would give him more to do. He was sort of randomly put in tag team matches for a while. And yeah, good talent. I think that he deserves to go further. I wouldn't do anything with his gimmick. I think that's over, and I think that's working really well. And he does it really well. So, yeah. Pete Dunne, I think he's now doing one of the various Americano spin-offs. Good wrestler. I'd rather see him wrestling as himself instead of being one of the Americanos, but he's doing it well, so yeah. Piper Niven, not much to say at the moment. Unfortunately, she's out with a broken neck. Hopefully she comes back soon. She is a great wrestler, has a lot of personality, and I think that she's got a lot of potential, but she needs to get that neck sorted first. R-Truth is another one that's been around for a long time. I was really excited when they were going to let him be Ron the Truth Killings again, and then they've just randomly reverted back to having him being the comedy guy. I would like to see him just be Ron the Truth Killings. I would much prefer that. I think he's been underutilized as a wrestler, and he could probably out-wrestle half the guys there. So I would do that. Randy Orton, he's probably looking at retirement in the next few years. What he's doing is fine. I never got the Viper thing, though. To me, he kind of always looked more like a kind of... the movie The Fly, where Jeff Goldblum and The Fly go into the pod, and they kind of end up, becoming one creature. He kind of feels like if you did that with a human and a spider. There's just something kind of spidery about him. I don't know what it is. I don't see anything vaguely snake-ish or viperish. I wish he would stop doing that stupid thing where he attacks the ring, too. That's kind of dumb, just before he goes for his RKO, he's just bashing on the ring. Like, bad ring. Yeah. But yeah, he's fine knowing what he is. And like I say, he's probably going to retire in the next year or two, so not much really to say there. Raquel Rodriguez, she's really good. I should probably be pointing. I guess you can read, can't you? So you don't really need me to point at the people I'm talking to. Yeah. Raquel Rodriguez, come a long way. I think that taking that advice from Kevin Nash has done her world of good. She's certainly acting more like a big wrestler. And yeah, I think she's great in her role, and I think she's got a bright future. Ray Phoenix, great wrestler, thrown in a few random tag matches. Ray Phoenix, another great wrestler, again, thrown in a lot of random tag matches and stuff that doesn't really go anywhere. I I wish they'd just do something with him. Or if they're going to put him in a tag team, or they're going to put Penta in a tag team, put them in a team together, because they are brothers. So that would make sense. Rey Mysterio, another one that's probably looking at retirement soon, and not really needs to change anything. So Rhea Ripley, perfect where she is. Again, doesn't need to be changed at all. Ricky Saints, I would completely get rid of. I mean, look at this guy. It's like if you got a Rocky Maivia sex doll from 1996. I don't know if they would have made them, but just assume they did. Get him, sort of half inflate him. That's kind of him. Except he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the personality. He doesn't have the mic skills. He's comparable in the ring, but that was never the Rock or Rocky Maivia's strong point. So, yeah, just get rid of him. You don't need him. Robert Roode, I forgot this guy was here. Good wrestler back in the day. I think he's probably working more out the back now as a trainer or something. If he wants to wrestle, have him wrestle. I don't see him being a main event guy, maybe mid-card. But, yeah, you could do something with him. Roman Reigns is going Hollywood soon, so not really much point talking too much about him. Yeah. Roxanne Perez has really done well. They've moved her up to the main roster with Liv Morgan being out with an injury, so she's really proven herself and fit right into that Judgment Day group. Rusev can go back to AEW where he can wear his sparkly pink Minnie Mouse t-shirts, and yeah, I just don't get it with this guy. I don't see why he's back. I don't see why they're pushing him. Yeah, he can go. Sami Zayn, I think they've tried everything with him, and it hasn't really. He's fine as the kind of happy-go-lucky guy. When they try to turn him into this generation's Mick Foley, it doesn't work. Good worker. I just think, yeah, maybe it's time for him to move on. Saquon Sugars. Well, I don't know. They just call him Sugar usually, so I don't know if they. I don't know how to pronounce that first name, and I don't really care to know because he's another Dork State guy, so he can fuck off. Sarah Schreiber. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe she's a backstage announcer or something. I don't remember seeing her. Seth is out with an injury, so not much point talking about him. Shane McMahon? He's still there? It's been ages since we saw him. Yeah, if he's there, use him. Not much else to say. Yeah. Sean Spears. Now, Sean Spears, I saw some footage of one of his indie matches today, and as much as that wasn't a great match, I thought that his gimmick was better. He's doing this perfect 10 thing. I think that was probably a better use for him, but I still don't see much potential in him as a wrestler. Maybe he can try bringing the perfect 10 there, and maybe they can, working with the right people, it might work. I don't think the culling is working at all. Sheamus is a guy that really deserves a push. He's been there for a long time, consistently puts out great matches. You can put pretty much anyone with him and he'll have at least a good match. So, yeah, don't need to change anything. Although I actually kind of liked him better with the Mohawk. I think maybe he could go with that again. But, yeah. Shinsuke has already announced that he's going to be retiring fairly soon. He's kind of gone back to his old gimmick. Sol Ruka, great wrestler. Gimmick works. Needs a new name because Ruka just makes me think of Veruca, which is, a wart. You don't really need to be thinking about that when you got a wrestler. Solo Sikoa, he can go. Either that or use it. Yeah, that's not entirely true. I would either, if he has to be the serious guy, he can go. If he can be the goofball, that's fine. Let him be the goofball. He's good at being the goofball. But as soon as you have him try and be serious, it just doesn't work. And they keep trying to do it, and it keeps failing. But have him be a goof. It works. Stephanie McMahon, who's going into the Hall of Fame next year for being one of Vince's kids and marrying Triple H. She had a career. It's not really worth going into that much, but, they're not going to get rid of her. There's nothing that she can really do at the moment. She makes appearances every now and then, but there's nothing that she really adds to the product, so leave her out the back. I don't know. Stephanie McCure, she's already at the top. I think maybe it would have been better if she'd gone by the Intercontinental or U.S. title first before going to the Women's World title, but she's a good enough wrestler to do it. Her English is improving, and all she ever really needs to say is that English isn't her first language. Wrestling is her first language. And then she doesn't really need to say anything beyond that. Yeah, amazing wrestler, and I wish her all the best. Tala Tonga. Just make him Kane. He wrestles like Kane. He's built like Kane. Okay, I think he's Tongan. I guess Tala Tonga, that would make sense. But yeah, just make him Kane's son or something. Say that he was, I don't know, the offspring of Kane and the Rock's sister or something like that. Yeah, so have him wear the mask and just do the Kane thing because that's over. And I think people, because it's a mask gimmick, people are more receptive to recasting that, like they were with El Grande Americano, and certainly in Japan where you've had, and even looking at the Mexicans, you've got people who are now El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Why not just have him back, El Hijo del Kane? That would probably be better. Maybe have him in that gimmick in AAA. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that would be the only thing. Otherwise, get rid of him. But yeah, Tama Tonga, I see no future in. He can go. Tamina, I think is pretty much gone anyway. She can go. Tank is half of Wank and Spank. They can fuck right off because they're just not good. Tatum Paxley, decent wrestler, stupid name. The goth thing kind of works. Or the goth imagery, at least. Goth look, really. She looks goth. Her gimmick is more kind of childlike innocence, I guess. He carries dolls around and stuff. It's kind of confusing. I don't really know what her gimmick is supposed to be. But she's got talent. She's fine in NXT. I probably wouldn't have her as the champion. I would probably let her move up to that slowly. Maybe in a couple of years, but they see something in her, and I think that she does have charisma. So, yeah. Tavian Heights. A semi-decent wrestler, terrible name. It sounds like a budget block of flats, apartments, maybe a retirement village. It just doesn't really sound like a person's name. Give him another name. Maybe I think I looked up what his actual name was, and it sounded more like a wrestler name than Tavian Heights. So just give him some version of his real name that they can change enough so they can copyright it. The Miz I would normally probably say get rid of, but because I watched SmackDown last night, was it last night or the night before? Whenever it was on, he was against Jey Uso, and Jey Uso came out and he did his yeet thing for like 10 minutes. And then he was doing his wind it back thing. So he's going to do another 10 minutes of yeeting. And The Miz came out and interrupted it. So The Miz has gone up in my estimation purely because he interrupted that. We'd have to sit through another 10 minutes of yeet, yeet, yeet. So he's probably, getting older. He's probably going to retire in like 5-10 years anyway. So keep him around doing what he's doing. Thea Hale. She's now teaming with Joe Hendry. I don't know if that really works. They've tried her in all kinds of things, and I don't know if any of them have worked that well. She's decently talented, but I don't know. Maybe keep her as undercard. Keep her on the undercard in NXT. Maybe she'll develop into something. I just can't really see it myself. Tiffany Stratton, her presentation is great. It's all working really well. I wish she didn't lose the title to Jade Cargill because Jade is just not ready as far as her wrestling skills go. Tiffany's not been wrestling much. Actually, I think she's possibly been wrestling less time, and she's already a better wrestler. So she definitely deserves a push. I would push her back up the card. I think she may be out with an injury at the moment, but as soon as she's back, she's got to be back in that title picture. Whether she wins it again or not, I think that she will eventually. But yeah, I think that she's someone who deserves to be in that top ranking. Titus O'Neil, I think, is retired from wrestling. The only really good thing, or I want him a good thing, but the only thing worth remembering of his career is the Titus World Slide thing where he was too lubed up and when he fell and just sort of slid under the ring. That was funny. That's all you can really say about him. Apparently he's a really nice guy. He's good at doing sort of PR for the company, so maybe just have him in that role, what he's doing now. Otherwise, I would probably let him go. Tommaso Ciampa, or Tomato Ciampa. What I think of when I think of him. He kind of looks like Johnny Gargano's dad. So I'd probably break that team up at some point, actually. I think I said when I talked about Gargano, yeah, the team's working, but now I think about it more, I would probably break them up, maybe have them go into a feud for a while, and then have them go their own ways, I think they're probably better off maybe put Gargano with someone else who at least looks closer to his age. I think that there isn't that much of an age difference, just he looks that much older. Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of just good wrestler, but with that face, he just kind of looks. He looks sinister in the wrong way, if that makes sense. Maybe he would be better under a mask, but I think he just. Yeah, there's something that's not clicking with me for him. Tonga Loa can go. Tony D'Angelo can go. I mean, he's practically gone anyway. He was playing that Mafia guy on NXT, and it was really, really dumb. And yeah, he can go. Trick Williams, talented guy. I don't know if Trick really works as a name, but I guess Tricky Williams probably doesn't sound that much better. I think his real name is Matrick, which is an unusual name, but I guess it works. It fits him. Yeah, leave him as he is. Well, nothing's going to happen to Triple H, so he's there. Tyler Bates, I think, is the other Americano outsider. Better as himself, but yeah. Tyra May Steele. What may she steal? That's a name that needs to be changed. I think she's an Olympic wrestler, and she has a lot of confidence. And as far as her WWE style of wrestling goes, I think she got a lot of work to go. They're just kind of draping her in the red, white, and blue and hoping for her to kind of be a black female Kurt Angle, but it's not really working. I think I need to find something in her personality that would just bring that out a little bit more, But, yeah. Okay, so Tyreek, Tyreek makes me think of someone who's got a tie that smells bad. Tyreek Igwe. I don't know what that means. I apologize if that name means something in another language, but again, you need names that are kind of universal in WWE, and that just doesn't work. And he's teamed with the guy next to him, Tyson DuPont. Tyson DuPont's a better name. I still don't think it's a great wrestler name. It kind of sounds more like a law firm. But then again, Shelton Benjamin got over with that name, and that's his real name. So I would probably get rid of these guys. I've seen them wrestle a few times. I don't really see much potential there. Maybe if they got rid of the stupid names, and yeah. Uncle Howdy, well, let's be honest, he's not going anywhere, but I would probably either maybe just have him be Uncle Howdy and get rid of the rest of the Wyatt Six. So not actually get rid of them, not have them be the Wyatt Six, have them be their own characters. And he could be, the Bray Wyatt surrogate. Yeah. Uriah Connors, I don't remember seeing this guy, so I can't really say anything. Vic Joseph is the Michael Cole light commentator they've got on NXT. Does an okay job. Wade Barrett, great commentator as long as he sticks to being a heel. As soon as they have him get up and yeet, it ruins it. But if he makes fun of the guy that's doing the yeeting and to make snarky comments, he's great at that. And just be the snarky, miserable guy that just sort of had too much of everybody's shit and is just kind of going to side with the bad guys and just kind of be a bit of an asshole. I think he's great in that role. It's kind of a new spin on what Bobby Heenan did or what Jerry the King Lawler did, but it's his own version of it, his own spin on it, and I think he does that really well. But I wish that they would stick to that. Wendy Chu, I've seen her in the video game. I haven't seen her wrestle on video, so interesting gimmick. She's supposed to be a sleep paralysis demon or something. But yeah, I'll maybe say something if I ever see her actually wrestle. William Regal, this guy should be on TV all the time. I don't know why he isn't. His son, Charlie Dempsey, is there. Maybe he could be his manager, or just manage one of the people that's English isn't that good, maybe. It worked really well with Tajiri. And yeah, he could certainly be a manager. If he wants to wrestle again, that would be amazing. He could probably still out wrestle most of the people on the roster. So yeah, I'd like to see him get his flowers, as the young people say. Ren Sinclair needs a new name. Um, Adequate at what she does. I would probably release her, or maybe if she can come up with something, if she can bring something out of herself that's beyond just bland other girl on the NXT roster, then maybe. But yeah, otherwise she could probably go. Xavier Woods, they don't need to change anything there. He's fine. Zarya, same thing. Zelina is gone as far as I'm concerned. Well, if it was me again, we're talking fantasy booking world here, and yeah, I would get rid of her. I would have gotten rid of her the second she broke Chelsea Green's nose. That was a mistake that was easily avoidable, and she's been wrestling for long enough where mistakes happen, but that was bad, and she's not done anything to improve on that. Now they've got her and Aleister Black kind of cosplaying or cross-playing really as Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I would fire those two and I would bring back Kross and Scarlett, and I would give them a major push because they've got the potential, they've got the charisma, they can do everything that they want to do with Zelina and Aleister Black, and it feels genuine. With those two, it feels forced and fake. So yeah, we don't need those two. Pluck them off. Zoe Stark has been out with an injury a long time. Apparently she's getting ready to come back. From what I saw, she's good, so keep her around. So anyway, we actually did get through the whole roster, and hopefully the mic didn't cut out this time. I don't know what went wrong last time. But yeah, thanks for watching, and now back to me in the studio. Well, thanks me for going through all of that roster, or at least the second half of it. We're sorry we couldn't have brought you this all in one episode, but by the time we realized that the audio hadn't recorded for that second half, it was too late. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. Don't forget our website, and of course don't forget Home for the LD Lee. I am Hans Murphy from Modesto, California, also known as Slagent H from Chelsea Green's Green Regime. And yeah, see ya. So leave a light on for me. I'll be there before you close the door. Give you all the loving you need. A light is on for me, and I'm on for a light. I love a light.